Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This podcast here is episode 27 of a Podcast. If you're new to my channel, this is a podcast I run with a few friends of mine. I went to college with, primarily talking about Gopher football, college football, and possible NFL stuff. So if you're interested in that at all, go ahead and keep watching. But if you're not, you don't have to watch. You can just leave the video and just ignore it. It's one of the many videos I post to my channel. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time. All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to episode 27 of OPA Podcast. We are back for the 2020 season of the Gopher football team. And here are your hosts. My name is Jason.
My name is Larranz. Zero is set in every record. Guider.
I'm Wyatt. I'm just glad football's back. Oelkers.
And Griffin.
And today we'll be doing a jam-packed episode for you today. Today, first, we'll be previewing our home opener matchup versus the number 19 ranked Michigan Wolverines. Hashtag 2015 Revenge Tour for us. This game will take place Saturday, October 24, 2020 at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Kickoff on ABC and on 100.3 FM KFAN radio. Featuring College Game Day, who will be back for the second time in Gopher football history, back-to-back years.
Let it be known that Michigan was offsides in 2015 when that last play happened. I'm not salty. Yes, I am. Anyway, yes.
I'm still salty that Mitch Lyon during that offense just stood there for 2 minutes in the red zone doing nothing.
You know what?
And that's where management came in.
PJ Fleck would have known the clock was going.
True. All right, so what is special about this game as well, besides College Game Day being a ranked opponent at home, this is for the battle for the Little Brown Jug. The story goes, is from what I remember, I could be wrong, again, it's been passed down for many people, is that Michigan thought our water was contaminated, so they brought their own water, and then when they left their jug behind. We kept it, and then we never gave it back until they beat us in the game. At least that's what the story goes, but Michigan currently leads the all-time series, 75-23-5. The last time our Gophers have defeated the Wolverines was back in 2014 under Jerry Kill, defeating a Brady Hoke-led team and 30-14, and Brady Hoke got fired that season. And then the last time that this PJ Fleck team of the Gophers met the Wolverines was back in 2017 with Demi Croft under center, and our lead receiver was Philip Howard in that game where we lost 10-33.
Isn't Philip Howard back now?
He's a cornerback, yeah.
Yeah. First interception last year was against Rutgers.
All right.
But there ain't a lot of room on the wide receiver chart.
Now with the big man back.
But the big game that has all four of us reeling still has been, we were in our rookie year of the University of Minnesota marching band. Was a night game at home against Michigan, Jim Harbaugh's first season. Of course, Michigan did line up outsides per Griffin, but also another was if they had not reviewed the Drew Wolotarski touchdown, that would have been okay for me, albeit not right. LOL. Per our notes, but that was the saddest Halloween show ever.
That was depression. That was a game to which we completely and utterly outplayed Michigan. That was that Michigan team that had Jabril Peppers just out here trying to end lives, and we completely and utterly outcoached them. To which a tight end, if I remember correctly, had over 100 yards in that game, to be clear. And That was that game we were on like the 1.5 yard line, and there were like 27 seconds left, and ain't nobody do nothing on first. Why? Because Tracy Clays was out here eating a dilly bar instead of coaching.
Woo.
But hey, it's all good because yeah, Tracy is so much better of a coach than PJ Fleck. I'm fine.
Yeah.
Fine.
Was that a?
Now he's
I was
a
going to assume it was.
coach, right, at Virginia Tech.
He's a what?
I think Tracy Clays is the linebackers coach at Virginia Tech Hokies.
Because he I think departed the Washington State program last season or the end of last season, if I remember correctly,
Yeah, when Mike Leach left or something.
to Mississippi
I mean,
State.
it's not like they were playing to begin with anyway.
And now Mississippi State out here beating LSU, right?
Yeah, and then losing every other game by a lot.
Oof. So, we are previewing this game. So let's start with our Golden Gophers. We are currently ranked number 24 in the AP poll, 5 spots below the Michigan Wolverines.
Back in.
Yep. And the big thing was that historically Michigan has struggled against ranked teams at their opponents' home turfs. So home field advantage sort of for us. But ESPN has their FPI ranking Minnesota. It updated this morning to number 28. They project us still to have a 4.8 and a 4.2 record to come out for the season. So 5 or 4 game wins. The teams beating us for the West is Wisconsin, Iowa, and Northwestern. I'm not sure what smoke they're smoking for Northwestern to be up there, but yeah.
They really think Peyton Ramsey's just gonna be a
Are
freaking.
you fucking kidding me?
I'm not. It says right. I was looking at the article. I was like, wait a minute, WTF?
Wait, does Northwestern have a corner who can cover Rashad Bateman? Is that because last year that did not go well for him?
Ran the same play 2 times in a row.
We disrespect. We said, wait, Tanner kind of overthrew him this last time. Let's give him another shot. Same play, same time.
Yep.
2 touchdowns. I'm upset. And I respect Northwestern. I really do. But their best receiver, Benny Skoranek, plays for Notre Dame. So I'm just out here trying to figure out who are they throwing to? Who's covering Rashad?
True.
And who's going to be on that offensive line? Because I've seen a whole bunch of people done opted out for him, but that's none of my business.
Pat Fitzgerald, you're up.
Pat Fitzgerald is playing linebacker, wrecks everything. I respect Pat Fitzgerald. He is probably like, of the former players who are now coaches, Pat Fitzgerald is the most terrifying player in the as a Big Ten coach. Because I believe he is the only defensive player to win the Bronco Nagurski trophy 2 years in a row.
Yep.
Best defensive player. And he played at Northwestern.
Yep.
But they say don't nobody in the country want to see Pat Fitzgerald back in his heyday.
But we digress. That's ESPN's FPI. But S&P Plus ranks Minnesota at number 15 overall, projecting us to have a 7-game record, contending with Wisconsin for the Big Ten West. And they're predicting us to try to fight out with Wisconsin to battle Ohio State in the Big Ten championship.
I can live with that.
Yeah, which is pretty awesome. And to go from
Morgan
there, our Gophers from last season, so we ended 2019 with 11-2 record with major victories over Penn State and Auburn. Tied for first in the Big Ten West, co-champions with Wisco, but Wisconsin won the head-to-head to go to the Big Ten title game. But other than that, we had a fairly impressive season where we were picked 6th to win the West last year. And now with this season coming, we have higher expectations. A lot of starters coming back. For example, we have Tanner Morgan at QB, who is essentially our passing leader in history. Mohamed Ibrahim back at running back. Rashad Bateman, who opted out earlier prior to the season, is now back in the fold as number 0. So, hallelujah. Chris Ottman-Bell, still back at wide receiver. Jake Paulson, Brevin Spanford at tight end. Then most of our offensive line, which is Curtis Dunlap Jr., Connor Olson, Blaze Andrews, Sam Schluter, which I know I harked on him a lot last year and 2 years ago, but he's better now. John Michael Schmitz, who was our rotational offensive lineman, and possibly Daniel Faalele. We'll get back to him. And then, of course, on defense, Micah Treadway in the D-line, Jordan Howden and Ben St. Juste on the defensive backfield, Mariano Sori-Marin on linebacker, and maybe Braylon Oliver. And then special teams, who split time last year, was Brock Walker and Michael Lance at kicker, Brady Weeks at long snapper, and then Grant Ryerson on kickoffs. That's pretty much our returning team from that 2019 season. So do you want to talk about them briefly before we move on to Michigan?
Really quick, fun fact for everyone, because I've seen some people say, well, Tanner Morgan, he was okay last year. So I'm looking up the passing efficiency rating in the Big Ten, in the history of the Big Ten. Do you all want to take a guess where Tanner Morgan is in the history of the Big Ten? He is not number 1. He is no.
He's more one of my heart.
He is not. Or can you all guess who is above him in the history of efficient passing in the Big Ten?
Justin Fields?
Yes.
Russell Wilson.
Yes.
Is that it?
That is the list. That is the end of the list. The list goes, the top 5 is Russell Wilson, Justin Fields, Tanner Morgan, Dwayne Haskins, and number 5 is Kerry Collins from Penn State back in '94.
Kerry Collins?
Kerry Collins with a 172.9 passing efficiency rating, and then right under that is J.T. Barrett. So, like, Tanner Morgan different. Just to be
some elite company right there.
That is very elite company. You have arguably the current MVP of the league at number 1. You have the dude who's battling with Trevor Lawrence for the number 1 pick at number 2. And then you got Captain Morgan, who makes opposing secondaries want to drink Captain Morgan. So Tanner Morgan.
Yep.
And he was essentially just thrown into it. When you think about that Nebraska game a couple of years ago, it was kind of just like, here are the reins, and he finished the season all right. And when you have a whole offseason to mature and then learn the entire system and then do what he did, it's impressive. It's impressive.
I'm excited to see where he plays on Sundays.
I don't want to think about it yet. I want him to support for one more year.
Y'all remember when Mitch Leidner was supposed to be a first-round draft pick? Anybody remember that? I remember that.
Remember when the Vikings signed him and then he played one drive and lost 30 yards?
A 30-yard sack.
And then he ended up driving for Bike Squad.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
That's what he went on to, is he was driving for Bike Squad for a while.
Ooh. Well, actually, I don't judge Bite Squad people and DoorDash because people do it as a legitimate side hustle. So like, I don't. Okay, that's fine. But wow,
I don't know what else he was doing, but like he was not playing for the Vikings, that's for sure.
I'm like, y'all remember when Jerry Kill's whole strategy for recruiting quarterbacks were let's recruit dudes who are also probably tight ends? And we're going to make tight ends or linebackers and we're going to make them quarterbacks?
See, he took that from the Funky Brewster strategy.
Why are we taking anything from Tim Brewster. Why? Why?
I don't know.
Like, what good came out of Tim Brewster?
Funky Brewster.
I hear he's no longer on Jimbo's staff, so
He got hired somewhere?
he was hired by Jimbo back when Jimbo was at Florida State for a bit. Then when he went to A&M, went with him for a year, and then I think he departed or got fired. I'm not sure.
Wait, Tim Brewster was on Jimbo Fisher's staff?
As a tight ends coach and recruiting coordinator.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense.
Why did you?
Tim Brewster did have good tight ends. That's what we should have taken from him.
Hey, the one good thing, I bet Tim Brewster would have utilized the tight ends last year.
That's what the only thing Tim Brewster would have used.
Yeah.
Or would have had 100 catches for 15 yards.
Mentioning it, we did lose Kirk Shiraka. He departed Minnesota to go back home to Pennsylvania. So he got hired to Penn State to James Franklin's staff. But with that departure, we onboarded offensive coordinator, the coordinator who oversaw Jordan Love being developed into a late first round draft pick, and Mike Sanford Jr., who coached at Notre Dame before as well, and was a head coach for, I think, Western Kentucky when Jeff Brom departed. But his head coaching tenure wasn't very good, unfortunately. But he was onboarded by PJ to be competent enough to run his offense, and he also named Matt Simon, our wide receivers coach, to co-offensive coordinator with Mike. So hopefully we should be keeping some continuity in this offense, but also probably some new things from Mike Sanford, who's pretty much a little younger quarterback kind of coach for Tanner, Zach, Jacob, and Cole. And then on defensive backside, we did lose our corners coach. He got rehired to Oregon. That was his school prior as a GA. And we hired from Mark D'Antonio's former staff, his defensive backs coach, who has developed great defensive backs. And PJ worked with him back during his Ohio State era when he was a GA. So some key departures on the staff and additions too. I forgot about that.
And Chad Wilt on the D-line.
Yeah, because Mike Panagos was hired by Greg Schiano as part of the record staff as well. Yep, thanks.
Natch. Yeah. Where Chad Wilt? I know that name. Where did he coach last year? Was he at
Cincinnati?
Oh. Okay, so we got a defensive line now. Okay, because Cincinnati last year was hitting people.
Yep.
So I'm here for that.
Cool. You gotta watch Chad Wilt's Twitter, because he had like videos of just him like in the indoor practice facility with those like giant dummies and just doing work on it. I was like, oh, our D line.
Well, I mean, that's gonna be necessary considering that we lost everyone on that D line. So
Winston Dalala-Badir, Carter Coughlin, Sam Renner.
And our linebackers while we at it.
Kamal Martin. Thomas Barber.
Yeah.
Anton Winfield Jr., who's balling in the NFL.
Williamson. This is not ideal. This defensive situation is not ideal. I ain't gonna. As like a hot take, I think Sam Renner is the biggest loss on the defense. Hot takes for 500.
Oh,
That is a hot take.
that is a hot take.
That one's probably some parts to it.
That dude, like going back and watching games like Nebraska, where we were sending 3 dudes and still sacking the quarterback because Sam Renner was throwing people. And I was like, who is this man? Where did he come from? How did this happen?
A walk-on from Maple Grove, Minnesota, who was offered a scholarship 2 years before he graduated.
Look, get them Minnesota boys in there, get them on that nutrition plan, and have them go hunting. That's what we need to do. But no, I'm concerned. I'm a little bit concerned about this defensive line and these linebackers.
I wouldn't be as worried as you think, because we still got Rashad Cheney. There's still Boye.
Boy,
Asasi.
Todd. Micah Treadway have some leadership. Gage Keys, very highly recruited, coming in from Ohio, I believe. And then I expect big years from both Asasi Otomwe and A. Anderson. Or Tomowo, I think is what it's technically pronounced. Ted Wiltz has a lot to work with, and I have a lot of faith in him.
well, if Chet, like for me personally, I think like D-line by itself is the difference between a 5-4 season and like a 6-2, 7-1 type of season. Well, it would be 7-2 because like that would mean we go to the Ohio State. We go. I was gonna say the Ohio State championship game, which basically it's what it is. It's the Ohio State Invitational.
The Ohio State Invitational?
Yeah, the Ohio State Invitational to be the sacrificial lamb for Ohio State's #1 bid, because we all know they do not want to see Clemson until the national championship game.
Oof.
That's why they were so mad at Wisconsin last year. They were like, you had one job. You had one job. It's to suck so we can get that #1 spot, eat Oklahoma, and let Clemson and who was the other one who was in? It was Clemson and LSU. Let them monsters fight each other out. But no, Wisconsin had to be competent in the championship game. Anyway,
so I do want to touch on some departures. So of course we're expecting great things from our Gophers, even though we did have some major losses on from last season. We're all excited. You know, ESPN S&P Plus has them ranked pretty well. A lot of our players coming back recorded statistical seasons. But unfortunately, it is COVID-19 still currently going on. So we did have some key departures. First of all, Demetrius Douglas has officially retired from football. I know we harked on him in the past, like for dropping passes, but he did save us in that Georgia Southern game. Fresno State, and that kickoff, the punt return against Wisconsin when we won the Axe that year. But unfortunately, he is departing the program. He was technically pretty much our number 3, number 4 receiver behind, at the time, Tyler Johnson, Rashad, and Chris. So we lost him, which was official on Twitter, and then PJ mentioned in the press conference. I put question marks and I said maybe for these guys. So we've heard rumblings about Daniel Faalele and Braylon Oliver. We still don't know yet. It's not official, and I personally don't want to speculate what's going on with them, but it's just we don't know. But I think how PJ coaches this team, I think we'll have guys step up, either even though they may have a learning curve. Again, we're playing Michigan as the first game, so they may like blow a coverage or two in the beginning and then just settle down. But yeah, that's what I have right now. I'm not sure if you guys have anything as well in terms of opt-outs or departures for COVID-19 or anything of that sort.
I remember Curtis Dunlap, he had entered the transfer portal and then he came like the next day. So that's really interesting. I'm curious to see if he earns his starting job, because Curtis Dunlap was especially effective in that Penn State game, punching Micah Parsons in the face. So I'm very curious to see if he's gonna be a thing. I don't know. I feel like our current wide receiver rotation would have been like Agent 0 is wide receiver 1, the Crab wide receiver 2, either Seth Green or some combination of Daniel, trademark Action Jackson, the true freshman who apparently has been a problem for our defense in camp. Douglas Emilian, who apparently is a really, 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 really good route runner, and like our other really good route runner, wore the number 6. So I feel like it would be some combination of them at wide receiver 3. I don't particularly think Demetrius Douglas would have done that much, regardless. He was great when he caught the ball. When he caught the ball, he was a problem. But the question was always, is he going to catch the ball?
I think they are going to put Daniel Jackson in for the big plays, and they'll line up Seth Green as eligible on the line. So I don't think it would be smart to put Seth as like a straight wide receiver 3, because he does have that tight end. He's a little slow too, but he's a big boy. But I wouldn't use him as a down the field kind of guy. I mean, he'll contest a catch here and there, but I'd kind of use him more as a blocker and a tight end, and do some little sticks, some little stick routes. Get run to the chains, go out, and try and get the first down. But I want to see Daniel Jackson just fly down that field, end around something.
Is he fast? I don't know what his whole shtick is. All I know is he broke the Kansas record for touchdown catches. This child had 27 touchdown catches last year, in his senior year in high school. 27. They whole shtick at whatever high school he was at was just throw Daniel step 1, throw Daniel Action Jackson the ball. Step 2, 7 points. Like that seems to have been their entire shtick, right? And for a while I had heard it was Douglas Emilian who was killing it, and then camp started, and apparently Daniel Jackson was like, surprise, I'm here. So I'm curious. Is he gonna be our big play dude? Is he gonna be that dude who we're like, Michigan's gonna double Rashad Bateman, and then Daniel Jackson is just gonna like fly by, and they're gonna be like, wait, what? Who is this? Is that what's happening?
It's probably what's gonna happen.
I'll be here for it. That or the Brevin Spanford hype train, to which I am a lead conductor on.
Or for me, Muhammad.
Oh, we already know he's gonna be a problem. That's why we ain't talking about.
We ain't even.
Do we even talk about the running game? Do we
ain't even
need to
talking
worry
about our running backs.
We
We're
have
just
that
like,
respect for it.
Muhammad, Wyatt, what's the over-under? If I say 5, what's the over-under for Muhammad killing somebody this year, or seriously maiming some type of defender, some poor child in the secondary?
What's the scale?
Like
Scale of
so like if I say that Muhammad Ibrahim is gonna injure 5 people this year on the defensive side of the ball, 5 people, over or under that?
I'm putting all my money on the over.
that's a tough spot to put me in with 5, because I can see it go either way.
Because, like, to me, it's like if he gets past the linebackers and
It's specifically going to say injure. Like, is he going to injure 5 people? I don't know. Is he going to put 5 people's ass on the ground? Easy. That's going to be done before the half at Michigan.
I'm just like, I'm just taking 5 straight up. I feel like 5 people are going to get hit by this dude, and they ain't coming back in the game. They going to be like, you know what? I'm trying to make business decision.
You know what? Maybe this COVID thing is serious or more serious than I thought.
Well, I'm gonna go hit them and they like this. Cough, cough. I got the Rona, coach. I got the Rona.
But we also forget, behind Muhammad, we have Bryce Williams, who was called upon as a true freshman 2 seasons ago, who's still in the lineup. Cam Wiley, who had some action last year, who redshirted because he only played 4 games. Played a little bit too. And then I know Griffin's a fan of this guy, Preston Jellin. Has been balling at practices and camp.
I love that we're getting running backs with a low center of gravity so they can run over people.
Because I want some violent dudes. I've been hearing
right through them.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot about the dude we got from Trey Potts. I've been hearing a lot about that dude.
Yeah.
He was the dude who came in the Maryland game towards the end, and he averaged like 7 or 8 yards a carry because they just got him in space and no one could touch him. I guess
Maryland's first team defense, essentially.
Yeah. As opposed to like Muhammad Ibrahim, who like, yes, people touched him. It didn't help them, but like they touched him. I've been hearing a lot about it, dude. I don't know.
Is asking you to put your hands on his body so he can put you in the ground.
Muhammad Ibrahim is just like a lot more compact and smaller Derek. That's what I've determined. Where like he's gonna hurt you. I don't know how he's gonna, but he's gonna hurt you. He's gonna be very small, but you're still gonna die. Like that's what's gonna happen. So I don't know. So
I have things about our running game. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna be just as good.
I call Muhammad. He is the Justice Ginsburg of the Big Ten running.
Love it.
He is very small. He is very old. But also, he's going to hurt you somehow. He is the Justice Ginsburg, rest in peace, of the Big Ten running backs. And yeah, so our running backs are good. Our wide receivers are probably okay. Praying to God that someone steps up. Our tight ends are going to be throwing the ball. And our quarterback is Bop. Griffin, do you know anything about how our other quarterbacks not named Tanner Morgan are doing?
Quick update. Jeff Brom has COVID.
Ooh, what?
Oh my God.
I'm fine.
Boy.
Yo, not Jeff Brom with the Rona. I'm hurt. Who's Purdue playing in the first game? Do we know?
I thought it was Illinois. I could be wrong.
Hold on. Jason is for sure pulling it up. Oh, never mind. Jason is taking a phone call.
Are we recording this?
I'm back.
Oh,
Iowa.
Yeah, so
next week.
17 minutes ago, Jeff Brown tested positive today with COVID. He informed the staff and team this afternoon and is currently at home in isolation. And I believe with Big Ten and NCAA policy, I think out at least 14 days.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Okay. Maybe he'll be like Coach.
And he can't come back until he tests negative.
Rondale Moore is going to have to coach the team himself.
I mean, honestly, Rondale Moore was always the coach. Like, from the moment he got him, their game plan was throw the ball to Rondale. That was their time.
Rondale Moore was the game plan. Now he's also the coach.
That's what he coached all last season when we knocked his ass out.
Hey, guys. Take it easy. We're throwing it to me.
Well, it wasn't meant as a chirp. That wasn't meant as a chirp. And up on the sideline to
the Rondale Moore coaching session walks into the room. All right, team, here's our game plan. So you're gonna get the snap, right?
Boxer comes in on. Never mind.
No, you're gonna get the snap, right? Cool. And then you're gonna look for me, and then you're going to throw it in my general direction and pray to God that there's not 3 dudes covering me. That, right? And you know what? If they get it to me, and there are 3 dudes there, but they are in space, then I'm just gonna destroy 3 dudes. Like that's how it's gonna happen. And then the safety's gonna come in and they're gonna tackle me for what should have been a 3-yard loss. That's gonna be a 30-yard game.
But we digress. Jeff Brom is out, at least for the early part of the season. So you guys okay? We move on to Michigan.
Not quite yet, because I know Larranz was wanting to talk about quarterbacks real quick.
Okay, let's do that. Yeah.
I actually also have a question I want to ask, but we'll do quarterbacks first.
Jacob Clark is still a slinger. Cole Kramer probably won't see much action because we saw what he did against Iowa last year, but that's not his fault. And Zach Annexted probably is just going to be the backup.
But he is a solid backup if Tanner goes down or something weird happens.
I was going to say, Zach Annexted is a backup you can complain about.
We saw Jacob Clark last year. We got a little taste of everybody. I like everybody. We got the throwers. We got the pocket passers. We got little dual threat.
Little dual threat, you know.
Make everything.
Is Tanner run at all this year? Outside of running for his life, is he going to run at all this year?
Tanner?
Yes.
If he slides, he ain't been very good at sliding.
You better. I remember watching the Nebraska game in 2018 when Tanner first came in. And he was running. He was like running over linebackers. I'm like, no, get down.
He kind of his mannerisms when he runs kind of just. It reminds me of Kirk Cousins. Tanner. Oh no, why?
No, Tanner reminds me. He's basically Case Keenum to me. Tanner Morgan is Case Keenum to me. Oh, what's the score?
20-0. Start of the third quarter.
Oh, it's okay. We got him right where we want him.
I ain't even mad. That's why I'm
right where we want him, guys.
Blow a 20-point lead again.
28-3.
And that's why Dan Quinn is fired. And Thomas and Dimitrov, their GM.
I was still waiting one more week.
If the Vikings can't even get 4 wins this year, I don't even know, man. You're not that. You're bad, but you're not that bad.
Fire everyone. Wyatt, you had a question.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn's probably going to join our staff next week.
Oh, yeah. Hey, who's punting this year? And more importantly, who's holding?
Don't go there.
Wait a Wyatt, no. I forgot the special team part of this.
Position. Let's go down. I think holding will be Casey O'Brien if he's healthy. Because the other 2 holders, all graduated.
Is he gonna play?
Casey O'Brien? You think Casey O'Brien?
Is Casey O'Brien
in a global pandemic with cancer?
Yeah, that's my. Is Casey O'Brien gonna play?
Oh no. Number 96, Mike Crawford, who was part of our 2019 recruiting class from Australia, who was like the best Australian punter from that country. I think he may be the starter. Because the other guy.
That Ryerson listed as kicker/punter.
Because our other guy's also Grant Ryerson, but also Matthew Stevenson, who is a graduate student punter, also. But I think we might give it to the Aussie boy, for punting duties. and maybe holding as well, but I'm not sure.
Griffin, did we fire our special teams coach yet? Did we fire him? Is he gone? He's still here? Oh, God. Michigan gonna have a kickoff return for a touchdown, Jesus. They gonna run an end around mid punt, and it's gonna go for 40.
Nah, I think Grant Rice
Just go for 2.
I think Grant Rice is gonna kick it out of bounds before they could do that anyway.
Yeah, then they're gonna start on their 40. That's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, given. We got 60-yard fields at this point. Might as well.
We're gonna die. That's what's gonna happen. Thank you, Wyatt. I was feeling so good. You know what I said? We were gonna win 6 or 7 games. No, we win in 3 games. That's what's gonna happen.
So,
and now Wyatt's video is.
I think we'll be fine at punter. So, any more questions about this current Gopher roster and this team?
Nah.
All right, so moving on.
No, I'm just hurt.
So next up, we have our opponent, which is the number 19 ranked Michigan Wolverines. They ended the 2019 season 9-4, losing major games to the Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Penn State. So they finished 3rd in the Big Ten West. They got to Big Ten East. I can't read today. They were selected and partook in the Citrus Bowl, where they lost to number 13 Alabama, who had no Tua Tagovailoa at quarterback. And,
fun fact: you know that Mac Jones has thrown for more yards and more touchdowns in the first 4 or 5 games than Tua ever did?
Really?
I feel like we might respecting Mac Jones. Return of the Mac. I feel like we might have been disrespecting him.
Possibly.
Just throwing that.
So looking at a few things. So let's look at key departures first. So quarterback Shea Patterson to graduation, Dylan McCaffrey to transfer. Wide receiver Nico Collins opted out. Donovan Peoples-Jones went to the draft. Tarek Black transferred. Tight end Sean McCone graduated. 4, their starting 5 offensive linemen all got drafted. John Runyon Jr., Ben Bredson, Cesar Ruiz, and Michael Onwenu. Defensive end Mike Dana graduated. Linebacker Jordan Glasgow graduated, along with linebacker/safety Kalik Hudson, and then cornerback Ambry Thomas opted out, and Lavert Hill graduated. Key returners to the team is their running back cast of Zach Charbonnet, Hassan Haskins, Chris Evans, wide receivers Ronnie Bell, Giles Jackson, their lone offensive lineman Jalen Mayfield, defensive ends Quiddy Pay and Aiden Hutchison, D-tackle Carlo Kemp, linebackers Cam McGrone and Josh Ross, cornerbacks Vincent Gray, safeties Dax Hill and Brad Hawkins, with some key players new that we may be facing is for sure their new quarterback in Joe Milton, who I've heard Fox analysts and ESPN analysts see him to be like a very Cam Newton-esque kind of player. He's a big guy at quarterback with a big arm as well, but he hasn't played very much at all, so he's a very big unknown. But I think if Joe Rossi can get our defense ready, I think we can exploit Mr. Joe Milton, who is a fairly green quarterback starting in the Big Ten. But then again, who knows?
This is the year to go after him too, because this is where he learns like the routes of his receivers and what he wants to run. So there's probably going to be a lot of missed throws, overthrows. So as long as we can put players in the right spot at the right times, the first year could be a problem.
I'm not scared of Joe Milton yet. Look, he played a little bit in 2018. He threw 4 balls. He did 3 of 4 for 1 interception. Last year, he threw 7 balls. He completed 3 of 7 for a 42% completion percentage for 1 touchdown and 1 interception. He has 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions in his career. Oh, and 2 sacks. He got sacked twice. So, am I supposed to be terrified? Am I supposed to be scared? Wyatt, am I supposed to be scared? We supposed
Unless khaki pants scare you, no.
Not khaki pants. I look. Do you know who Michigan's best quarterback is since Jim Harbaugh came in? Jake Rudock, who was their 2015 quarterback, was their best quarterback since he came in. So sure, Joe Milton, maybe he'll have a Tanner Morgan type season. Who knows? Yes, Wyatt. Okay, I see your face, Wyatt.
Didn't Jim Harbaugh play quarterback?
Jim Harbaugh did indeed play quarterback at Michigan.
So, someone want to tell me why he can't recruit a quarterback that's worth 2 shits?
No. He's recruiting quarterbacks. He's just not developing quarterbacks. You see that? No, look, he could have a...
Change the question.
That's fair. I mean, look, Joe Milton, he could
Hang
have
on.
a Tanner Morgan.
I think Michigan fans will hate this.
Get it out.
What?
Whoa, he has trouble with the snap, and the ball is free. It's picked up by Michigan State's Jalen Watts Jackson, and he scores on the last play of the game. Unbelievable.
I hate you. I hate you for that. Man, look, I was all on the Harbaugh train for the first 2 years. I was like, that shouldn't have happened. And as Minnesota fans who know what happened to us against Wisconsin back in 2004, like, we should be a lot more empathetic to botch snaps. So yeah, no, I'm not. I really like Ronnie Bell. Really like that dude, but that's their only wide receiver.
Wisconsin 2004, you can stop hurting me like this, man.
Look, we're talking about in 2015, so I don't know. Are we going to get to keys of the game? Because I still got essays to write and papers to grade.
So, keys of the game. Let's go ahead.
Joe Rossi, throw every single blitz in the book at him. Everything. Throw everything at him. I don't care. I want, if anyone plays Madden, I want Engage 8 all game. I want Engage 8 all game. Hit them with everything. I want, what is it? If you go like the goal line,
you're not even gonna throw safety back there.
I just want Jordan Howden to be the sole dude in the back, and I want to hit him with everything else. I don't even care if we sack him. I just want to hit him. I want him to start.
I think Urban Meyer said it best, because you know how Urban does his like urban analysis with Big Ten Network.
I love that stuff.
He mentioned a lot, particularly with Joe Ross's defense, when they play a red zone defense, they play goal line 7. So 7 of our defensive players are playing at different levels spread across the red zone, like the 10-yard line and into the end zone. And we did it pretty well throughout the season, except for Wisconsin, because they scored outside of the red zone when they gutted us last year. So we'll forget about that. But goal line 7, Joe Ross's defense, as long as if Michigan gets to the red zone and let our 4 defensive linemen just eat like they did to like Sean Clifford's offensive line and all the other offensive lines be wrecked, last season, I think is going to be crucial. But again, of course, I think Calvin Ridley just walked off the field. Atlanta just lost Calvin Ridley, but I digress. But I think key to the game, I think Joe Ross, like, again, I think you would agree, Joe Ross to get that defense ready.
Well, I mean, like, because here's the thing. Like, I am truly confident in our corners. I am very confident in them. My whole shtick is because Griffin, Wyatt, I think both of you are less concerned about the D-line than I am. Or maybe that was Jason. I don't know. I
didn't actually make any comments about the D-line.
What'd you say, Wyatt?
I didn't actually make any comments about the D-line. I don't know enough.
I think that was
okay, that's fair.
This
Like, I am a lot more concerned about the D-line. Maybe it's just my Minnesota pessimism. But I really think if Michigan's going to win this game, they're actually going to win it running the ball down our throats. Because most of the people who are replacing who was there before, like a Boye Mafe, a Sezi, if you want to go to the linebackers with Mariano Sori-Marin, I don't know if Braylon Oliver is going to play, but even some of the young dudes who we're bringing in or who played last year, most of them were really good for blitzing, for going downhill and eating the quarterback. Please see the second half of the Iowa game last year when Joe Rossi decided Nathan Stanley, he ain't sitting in this pocket no more. He gonna die, right? But they seem to be like a lot of a liability against the run, which is why, like, for the longest time, I'm like, why isn't Boye Mafe there on every play? He's throwing people. He should be here, right? It seems like they were a liability against the run. If that's still the case, if I'm Michigan, I'm going to get me a Nick Saban hat, and I'm running the damn ball all game. Right? That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going on their defensive side. I'm covering Rashad Bateman, and I'm saying I'm going to stack the box, and I'm going to double Rashad Bateman. Then I'm going to be like, I'm going to let literally anyone else beat me. Like, if Brevin Spanford wants to pull a Noah Fant, sure. Go for it. I'm okay with that. Rashad Bateman is not going to get 160 yards and 2 touchdowns on me. Nope. Not happening. So that's my whole opinion on this whole shtick.
Okay. My takes, play really good defense. I know Joe Rossi will scheme to the best of our team and players, so I trust that. So make sure defense is locked up. I think offensively, I think Tanner. Well, first of all, I think the run game should still be part of the game plan. Even though Michigan is bringing back a stout D line, we still managed to run on Penn State and Auburn. You know, as long if we can get the inside and outside zone going with the offensive line, we'll be in it to hang in there the entire game. But I think offense, Tanner, to stay clean, pass to any open receiver, including our tight ends and running backs, not just Rashad. I know Rashad's going to get his cake and eat it. But yeah, I think that's me. And then of course, special teams try not use offense and defense and try to limit them, or all three teams play a full game and there's no mistakes or a little mistakes. So that's my keys to the game. I don't know about you guys.
Run the damn ball, eat the clock.
I was going to say control the pace. We want to play with the lead. We want to have control of the tempo. If we're doing that, then we're playing fine, in my opinion.
But do you think Michigan's going to let us run the ball?
I didn't say just run the ball. I said control the pace.
What I say.
What?
If we dictate the pace, no. What's Michigan going to do if we're dictating the pace all game?
So then my question, Wyatt, if we win the coin toss, are you taking the ball or are you deferring?
Give me the ball.
You won't.
With the offense that PJ has, give me the ball.
All right. You don't want to test out our defense first?
Nope.
Wow. Okay.
Lead early. Lead off.
So
Jay taking the ball?
I respect that. If it was me, I would defer because I want to score a touchdown and want to get the ball then and then score another touchdown after the half. I want 14 points in 2 possessions.
Because one thing I heard about Joe Milton is that he got like a bazooka. He got that bazooka trait on that arm. So like I feel like if Michigan throwing the ball, they're just gonna say, "Yo, we have really fast wide receivers. We don't know how well they're developed, but they're really, really fast. So we gonna have them run down the field."
You know who else was really, really fast?
Who?
Demetrius Douglas.
Oh, Wyatt. Why would you? Why would you bring that up? Why would you bring that up?
Everyone knows Demetrius Douglas had one problem, and it was because he couldn't hold on to the ball.
He's like, I'm running at track speed. I'm also not going to catch the ball. But, like, I'm open, in theory. They ain't even put nobody on him. That's how sad that was. They were like,
he can have a cannon and really fast receivers. He's got to put the ball in the right spot, and they've got to catch it.
That's fair.
so next up,
Griffin.
yeah,
You yourself said this. You trust our corners.
I do trust our corners. I don't trust.
They got to beat us.
I don't trust our safeties.
You don't trust Jordan?
I don't trust Jordan. I don't trust him. He called game against Penn State. I appreciate that, but he ain't Antoine.
Listen, nobody's Antoine.
Offensive Rookie of the Month, Antoine Winfield Jr. to you, sir.
He's balling at Tampa Bay. So to move on, let's go to score predictions. So
Did I stutter when I said Antoine?
So Vegas has the betting odds. Michigan opens as a 2.5-point underdog as they come to our Twin Cities for the Little Brown Jug. Of course, it's very documented at this point that Michigan is 1-8, I believe, in all their ranked road games, and have been 0-10 in the Harbaugh era as an underdog. ESPN has us as 1.5-point favorites. So here's my score. I think we'll come out on top just because I think culture and like this next man up mentality for the Gophers. I think we're going to win it. Crap, I cannot do math. 31-28. No, I can't. 31-28. Gophers on top.
Anyone else want to take it?
That's my prediction.
Gophers 33, Michigan 27. We kick the field goal, force them to score a touchdown, and Jordan Howden with the INT at Larranz.
Yo. That's
all you Larranz.
Mention that Jordan Howden's going to get burned 3 times in this game to get them to 27. Are you going to mention that part?
But the W. Do you want the W?
Yo, the W's going to be there, but it's not going to be thanks to Jordan Howden. It's going to be despite of Jordan Howden.
At the end of the season, what's the one thing everyone looks at? The record.
Okay. God. 34 24, Michigan.
Oh.
I not. Oh wait, no, I take it back there. 30-34, Michigan. Cool. I do not trust. I know Griffin's gonna say it. Yeah, whatever. I do not trust our defensive line at all. Yes, I know Michigan is bringing in 4 new starters, but we're basically replacing our whole D-line. And on average, based off of recruiting, what Michigan's bringing in is more talented than what we're bringing in. It's just how it works. I really think they are going to run it down our throats until we commit to stopping it. And then they're just going to use a Joe Milton's cannon arm and throwing it down the field. Now, I think that Joe Milton's going to throw 2 interceptions in this game. I still think they're going to run it right down our throats. And on the offensive side, I've been hearing rumors that Daniel Faalele might not be playing. I've been hearing rumors that Curtis might not be playing. So the right side of our offensive line, like we saw what happened against Wisconsin when Daniel Faalele went down. They just said, uh-oh, we smell weakness. And then they just came after it the entire time, and Tanner was running for his life the entire time. I don't trust Michigan's corners, but I feel like unless this is a Daniel Jackson or Brevin Spanford surprise, we're that good, which would all be like speculation. I believe that they can take Rashad away. And if they take Rashad away and their D-line is stout enough against our O-line that might be missing 2 people.
Just remember, Larranz, it's not always about who you recruit. It's about how you use them.
Well, they sent every single member of their offensive line last year to the NFL. So the one thing I do know is that they can develop them into NFL prospects. Every single one of them went to the NFL. Did every single one of our D-line go to the NFL? I don't think that's what happened. So, once again, my point remains.
Cam Renner.
He has the NFL.
The Rams.
What? Yo.
Am I wrong?
Proud.
Carter Coughlin is on special teams for the Giants.
Right. Yeah, but Thomas Barber ain't doing nothing. Where's Winston Delata-Badair?
He's coaching in the Arena
nothing.
League.
Having the best name on the planet. That's where Winston Delata-Badair is.
So, yeah, that's my prediction, 34-30 Michigan. Also, I'm just saying that because Minnesota nihilism has gotten to me.
What about you, Wyatt?
I'm going to say 27-34 Michigan.
All right.
High five, Wyatt.
So, actually, we had a quick question. So, Kyla just joined into the live stream here. So, hello, Kyla. Is Daniel Faalele even playing or not? So, to answer your question, Kyla, we don't know. We've heard rumblings he may not play. Some possibly he may be opting out. We don't know. So, we did this some speculation, but we hope, fingers crossed, he's back in, but we don't know. And then her other question, which Hogwarts houses would be which Big Ten team?
There are only 4 Hogwarts houses.
I think for now, let's just leave it for Minnesota and Michigan because it's us 2 playing this Saturday that we've been focusing on.
I feel like Michigan is definitely Slytherin and Minnesota is definitely Hufflepuff. Like I know people be like, yo, we're Gryffindor. Look at the color scheme, right? But no, I think we Hufflepuff. Like, I feel like we're still getting disrespected, even though we're somehow favored, which has never happened. What? How are we favored? Minnesota.
I think Vegas is betting. I think part of Vegas' assumption is that Michigan hasn't really done well against ranked teams as an underdog on the road. Like the last time they won a ranked game on the road was in 2018 against Michigan State, under a Mark D'Antonio team. I think that was
Was it Michigan? They played us in 2015. Weren't they like 15 or something?
Yeah, at the rain game we had in 2018. But that was also the same season. They only won 7 games with their bowl game as well.
Either way, we're Hufflepuffs. Take it, enjoy it. Yeah.
Kyla answered, great answer, thank you. MN is totally Hufflepuff.
You see it, right? We have strong Hufflepuff energy where everyone forgets we're a thing. Like someone released betting odds for like the Big Ten West, and we're still below Nebraska. Like that's where we are. We are Hufflepuff energy. So excited to watch Nebraska go 2-7.
Wait,
like that's
so in your eyes would also our rivals Wisconsin, Nebraska, and Iowa are also Slytherin?
No. Wisconsin.
No. First of all, Gryffindor.
No. Wisconsin is Slytherin because I hate them. Iowa is Gryffindor because I hate them, but I gotta respect them. Nebraska is Harry Potter's step parents. That is who Nebraska is.
Actually.
Like, if we're talking about Big Ten schools as Hogwarts schools, Nebraska ain't a Big Ten school. Who invited them? Don't nobody.
Hey.
Don't
Some
nobody.
of the
Maryland doesn't belong.
Yeah, but we appreciate. You know what? Maryland also has Hufflepuff energy.
Maryland does have Hufflepuff. I'll give you that one.
That Hufflepuff energy. Like, they really could be good. And it really doesn't. Frankly, it does not make sense that Maryland is good. Because, like, yes.
What's Rutgers?
Oh.
Rutgers is the magical hat that chooses what.
Oh no.
Because it's not a Big Ten school, but every single Big Ten school goes through them. So like that's what Rutgers is.
We have another question from Jordan Labatt. He asks, "Are you guys Liner Island or Ronda Ranch?"
What?
Rhoda?
So
Does he mean Rhoda?
yeah. So are you guys Liner Island or Rhoda Ranch?
I'm at Raw Coffee right now.
The lesser of two evils? Are you the American political system?
I think
Public service.
I think I'll go with
Make
Captain
sure-
Morgan because at least he'll let me drink my sorrows away and enjoy it.
Yo, I mean,
Right answer.
cool. I feel you. This isn't just orange juice. I'm kidding. This is definitely just orange juice. My liquor is in my cabinet over there. But other than that,
That's a big ass mimosa there, Larranz.
giant mimosa to drink. No, this is Rona season. I'm getting my vitamin C up, dog.
That's fair.
For Kylo. Oh, not Kylo. For Cammy Schaefer, hydrate or dihydrate?
Hydrate or dihydrate. 2K20.
That's
Look, let's be clear. We have all of our predictions and things like that. But we all know that the season's going to be canceled mid-November because of the giant cannibalistic turkeys that are going to come and take over the world.
Absolutely.
2020. Plus Krampus.
Any other hot takes?
Any other? Oh, hot takes. Let's end this podcast. I got stuff to write. Let's do some hot takes for the season.
Hot takes for the season. I haven't thought about that. So,
It's really hard
I
to think
saw-
about when the season starts in October
I
instead
saw
of
some
September.
rumblings. I think if we do have a solid season where we win 7 or even 8 games for the Gophers, I think PJ
Shut up.
will take a NFL coaching job
Oh.
after the 2020 season.
No.
Oh.
No. No.
If you
No.
said
You shut
Michigan
your mouth.
fire Jim Harbaugh and hire PJ, that would make more sense to me. But nah, he ain't. Have you been
No.
PJ?
That was my spicy
Jets?
take.
Saying that you hire Jim Harbaugh is not a hot take anymore. It's an overdue prophecy.
Alright, my hot takes are twofold. Number one, Purdue wins the West.
Ooh.
Purdue
Spicy.
wins.
How are they gonna do that when Jeff Brom got the Rona?
Look, hey, their game plan. Look, you remember how last year we had Tyler Johnson and we had Rashad Bateman. Y'all remember that? How unguardable that was? So, like, yes, they got Rondale back, right? But what people don't remember is that there were 3 first-team wide receivers last year, Big Ten first team. It was Rashad Bateman, it was Tyler Johnson, and then it was Purdue's, David Bell, who was a true freshman who went for over 1,000 yards last year. Now, him and Rondale Moore are going to be on the same field at the same time. They're going to be unguardable. I really think they are going to be unguardable this year. I don't think they're going to play defense, but I think they're going to be unguardable. So that's hot take number 1. Hot take number 2, Kirk Ferentz is going at the end of this year
Ooh.
for Iowa.
Even with all that smoke that he survived from this past
Because of the racism scandal that's at it. Like, I don't know if y'all remember Akram Wadley, their running back who was running us over back in 2015-16, but he came out on Twitter and he was saying no one should ever be a Hawkeye. Like, that's what this dude was saying. I feel like Kirk Ferentz is going, and because of nepotism, his son, Brian Ferentz, who's currently the offensive coordinator, is going to be the new head coach.
Very nepotistic. Very, very.
And
I got an interesting one.
and all of their football coaches got raises this year after Iowa cut a couple sports teams.
Damn.
Burn Iowa to the ground. Wyatt, go.
So Indiana will finish 3rd in the East,
Over.
ahead of Michigan's. Jim Harbaugh still will not be fired.
Wyatt, that's spicy. That implies that Indiana can win a game against Michigan or Penn State. Are you going there?
I'm gonna go there.
9,
Listen.
Alright.
Indiana. It's
Michigan is long overdue for a really bad season.
who's really overdue?
Michigan.
Okay.
FPI
Okay.
ESPN FPI has them ranked 18 to win like 6 games. So
For the record, if Michigan beats us this week, when Michigan beats us this week, I will change my hot take.
all right, what about you,
Like,
Griffin?
obviously, if they're
Yeah.
season off on the wrong foot, then they're not gonna. Yeah.
Rutgers gets 3 wins.
Ooh. Who? Like, what 3 teams are going to lose to Rutgers under Greg Schiano?
Michigan State.
That's fair.
Illinois.
Don't disrespect the beard like that.
Oh, wow.
Put it right down. Put that finger back down. They're not losing to Illinois. Get out of here.
And Indiana.
They're going to play Maryland?
I'm throwing
Indiana gonna lose to Rutgers?
No, I think I can see why Griffin says Indiana, because Rutgers is going to hurt Michael Penix, and they don't have Peyton Ramsey to save them, so they're going to blow it.
I feel like
Just-
Rutgers might be. I feel like Rutgers really might be Arkansas. Like, have y'all been seeing what Arkansas is doing?
Not
The
recently.
bacon bits. Like, Arkansas is 2-2. They have won 2 SEC games in Sam Pittman's first year. I think that's his name. Sam Pittman's first year as head coach. And they should have beat Auburn because there was like a backwards, like on the last play of the game, he spiked the ball backwards, which is actually a fumble, and Arkansas recovered it, but they called it a spike ball.
Ooh.
And so, like, they
Not
stole,
gonna disrespect Arkansas like that. Mm-mm.
because Auburn was kicking the last second field goal to win the game, and he fumbled the ball, and Arkansas recovered. But they said, no, it's a spike ball. And then they looked back at it the next day, and they were like, oh, well, there wasn't clear recovery. Anyway, Arkansas, who knows? They might be this year's Arkansas.
True.
Rank Arkansas, you cowards.
All right, awesome. So this will conclude our preview against the number 19 Michigan Wolverines for our Big Ten home opener at TC Bank Stadium this Saturday, October the 24th. So for all our fans, our friends and colleagues and family members listening and watching, thank you for your time. And again, my name is Jason.
My name is Larranz, nihilistic Minnesota fan Guider.
My name is Wyatt, Brotherhood of Hating the Khaki Pants Oelkers.
And Griffin.
And please enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you at the next podcast. And
Oh.
Oh.